The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to the new channel, here to help you see the new you. This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo, your host to this wonderful program, the HR Hotline. Welcome back to the HR Hotline, and we have a wonderful topic for today. This lunch, we're going to discuss about connectivity. I'm preparing slides for my webinars. I have actually two organizations that requested me to do webinars with them. And in preparing, because it's so difficult to translate, what do you call this? What you have in the face-to-face, and then you have to redo it for the webinars. You really have to go back and then come up with your new concepts and new slides so that it will be interactive. And in preparing sets, I found out that one of the core problem is actually connectivity, and it has two take. One is the connectivity, which is your communication and relationships. And the other one is the connectivity, which is your technical or technology connectivity. So let us go first to that of communication. It goes beyond communication. Connectivity here goes beyond communication. Much more that we are working remotely. That's more that we are working from home. No, it's nice when you were actually in face to face, because you can see the reaction, the response. But this time that we are working remotely, we have to invest on our connectivity, which is actually relationships. And it is not only for HR, everybody's concerned. It's everybody concerns, because it goes beyond the basic of you have the message, you're the messenger, there is the receiver, and sometimes you get the feedback. It goes beyond that. Because just like now, the meaning behind it, I am experiencing it now. It's even blended. We call it blended because I receive responses online. I receive responses in the group chat. But you still have to discern. The question is, if there was what you call strong bond, the formal and the informal communication, then it will be more facilitative. the understanding will be more bigger and greater. So connectivity as in the organization, as we converse, as we come up with decision, is very important. The other one is connectivity while we're using the collaborative tools. Earlier, Apple, the co-founder and co-executive producer of the TNC, was complaining. There's a new word. I might be dropped. My God, up to now, I am still mea culpa, ashamed with past President Grace Sata. My ignorance. But I was checking my data. I thought Mbps is similar to kbps. So that was one, although there are people watching it, that is one episode that I am up to now. Ay, my God. Because of connectivity. So, in the internet, in the phone, in your cell phones, with your, now that you are using this, which is very apt that we're discussing this because it come a week from now. And I think there are already opening of classes. My God, there's will be chaos. And I think that's not chaos management. It discuss nothing. So I have a special guest this today, and I'll connect it with connectivity. So that was my problem. But I am a person that I know a lot. Some of you are even telling me I am an influencer, and there are people cannot really say no to me. Congressman Go, di ba? I'm so proud of it. And then Secretary Bello was here. But this time, I don't want to pull strings. I got it from my dad and from my mom. It's my breathing. Even people. Kanina I was a little bit uncomfortable when we invited and we're asking for sponsorship. It is not my cup of tea. Indian si Jessie. Indian si Jessie. But yun nga nagka-problema ako. And then it was a problem. Past President Grace was so kind enough to complete the episode. I cried. I cried. Sabi ko, my problem was that I am so confident with my Globe connection. I've been a Globe, and what do you call this? User. I'm a Globe patron. What do you call this? I'm a I'm a smart Globe user for I 3 decades already. So I am so proud that I'm on data. And I'm so proud. I was telling Lloyd that I am using the Go Surf. But I didn't understand. I didn't understand. So that was my problem. Until I remember, I have a friend. So I pulled strings. I called up this guy. Please help me. And in an instant, because his position is already of mataas na tao. In today's time, I got my connection. We are in Paranaque, and there are some problems as far as what do you call this? The regulations of villages is concerned. There is a what do you call that? I will ask him later on. A a line, but it's actually behind my house in another subdivision. What is provided in our subdivision is actually the semi, or they call it copper. But I'm good. If you can see me now clearly and I look guapo, it's because of my connectivity now. It's my connectivity now. And then so going back, so I call him up. He's a dear friend. It's a dear friend, very, alam mo, when you say friend, you are aligned and there is quality. We don't see each other that much because it's very busy. We know that. But I came to know him because he was the PMAP People Manager of the Year in 2015. That was the time that PP Obet Policarpio was the president. PP Obet is here. Is actually listening. Maribel Omali is listening. Perly Mangkoy is listening. Okay. Okay. Before I continue, can we ask all those who are viewing now, can you post in the chat box where you are and tell us what are your connectivity problems? Either connectivity which is person to person or person to organization, or the connectivity what is actually the technology. So Pearly, Maribel, Ed, Obet, can we have that? Can we have try to pose what are your connectivity problems so that we can mention that later on. Okay, so to continue, that was when past president of the PMAP, People Management Association of the Philippines, was president, and he was the people manager of the year. After that, I was the president. So very fresh pa. And he was actually at the time siguro may oras siya. He volunteered to help. I know he will recall. And there were around 5, 7 meetings because I asked him to join in the crafting of the annual conference, which is why we became friends. Which is why I can still recall there was a time that he was the one who paid for our snacks. I can still recall Ato. That's how elephantic my memory is. And I can still recall he gave a lot of inputs to the topics because he was actually, uh, what do you call this, a practitioner age. And besides, he was a recent employer of the year. We'll ask him more about himself later on. But it's time now to introduce our special guest. Thank you very much for my connectivity now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Renato Ato Manuel Jiao. Can we have Sir Ato? Can we have her? Yes, can we have him? Him. Yes, we're waiting for, uh, you know, I look into his, uh, I stalk into to his LinkedIn.
Good
He is
morning.
always yes. Hello. I was
Hi
just
there.
telling
Good
them. You know,
morning.
I was.
Hi,
Oh,
good
you know what?
afternoon. Yeah.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for being our special guest today. I know you're busy. Okay, I was just telling them that we are both 63. Where are you now, Ato? Where are you now, Ato?
I'm at home. I'm at home in Quezon City. I haven't been out
So
for a long time.
I see. So you are actually work from home.
Oh yes, yes, we have been since the lockdown.
I see. I mentioned that you were the people manager of the year in 2015.
I am very
And
proud of that, and I owe it to people like yourself for giving me that recognition. I truly appreciate. I never expected it, but I truly appreciate your recognition and likewise also your endorsement.
yes. Okay. So how are you? Let's go personal. How are you? How are you with this lockdown and with this quarantine? How are you?
Well, we're coping. This much I can say that we didn't really expect that we will be on this on lockdown for imagine ilang buwan na to. We were planning only for a short period of time, but this has really been a protracted one. And we're coping. Business wise, we have been working very productively over the past several months. personally, we're finding lots of opportunity for us to be able to use this time to be able to bond with the family, and likewise also get into different, say, things to learn and things to do.
I see. I see. Uh, how about this question? How is Globe Telecom? Ayan. Before we go to some questions for HR, how is Globe now? Globe.
Well, Globe's doing very well. I think, as you know, one of the industries that is not has not really been affected greatly by the pandemic or the lockdown is actually telco and utility, because it's really one of the major utilities that is helping our countrymen, and likewise also being, as you said, connected, and of course likewise also being informed, and as much as possible, like us also entertained.
Yes.
Uh,
How? Yes, yes. I know there are a lot of apps, but I have that Globe one app, one Globe app, and then there are a lot of offers for culture, for arts, for travel. But let me.
yeah,
How big is your human resource?
I have about 60 people in my human resource group today, serving more than 8,000 employees.
Wow, 8,000. And this is actually in Manila, or are you spread in
Uh,
the country?
our people are mostly in urban areas. The largest part, of course, is here in Luzon, but we have a very large population in Visayas and Mindanao, both in our sales group, but likewise also in our network and technical teams. These are the people, the real heroes, if I may say, of making
Yes.
sure that we're keeping the lights on for everyone, like yourself.
But that does include your providers, manpower providers in that
Yes,
8,000.
on,
So
we do have managed services support, especially for network in IT, specifically to be able to serve us on those technical areas.
because I would like to mention, I am here in Paranaque, then I would like to commend your group in Bikutan, SM Bikutan. They're so good. Just yesterday and this morning, I was telling them if they can help me because I now have, thanks to you, the 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 connection for my Wi-Fi. So I would like to stop my connectivity with Tattoo. So I am asking them to help me, and they're so good in providing me that service. In particular, what's her name? Miss Bernas and Grace. They're so nice. Sino nagturo niyan? Do you have a group na, kasi I am even mentioning that to here in the that there is that special customer service that Globe provides.
Well, Jesse, thank you for mentioning that, because that is really the crux of what we think we are, a a company that is here to serve its customers. In fact, it is our DNA that customer service is top of our priority. In fact, our core values say customers comes first, and then the employees make the difference.
Magyabang ako. Siguro hindi kaya na platinum ako kung bakit ang bait-bait nila. It is not. Bang, because kasi they go beyond. This time that we are on remote and then work from home, so from Lazada to the banking, and sometimes people are retiree. Sometimes we really go a lot of lapses, and then you call the customer service or the office itself.
Yeah.
As
Well,
the global.
that's really part of what we call is our circle of happiness. We realize that we put customer top, front, and center of everything that we do, and we realize that you won't be able to serve the needs of I'd say an irate customer if you also have a disgruntled employee, right? So you
Yes.
realize that they go hand in hand. Well, we go beyond that. Likewise, also we know that happy and engaged employees were down to satisfied and delighted customers, who in fact will then deliver better productivity, and likewise also profitability for the business. And that's why the shareholders would likewise also be happy. And thus they can in turn invest
Okay.
heavily for their employees.
That let me go back. Let me go back so that I can ask the first question that I have here. You know, I do webinars, and you know that sometimes with PMAP, there was even a time that you, I don't know if you were the one. There was a group of around five globe uh, middle management who attended my seminar that was around 2 years ago, and they were actually with operations, and they're trying to make it competency based. So they took a competency based training, so that the trainings in operations, they were with operations, uh, will be, they can use the competency base in their training with the operations. Well, anyway, so actually, this is more an HR initiative. An HR initiative. So let me ask you, for the benefit of those listening to us, how should an HR sustain productive working relationship with workers that we are now doing it remotely? Let me hear it from you. Because I know you, alam mo ko, the concept is customer centricity.
Yep.
Diba? Yeah. So can you tell us, so that people who are listening to you now, we will know what is your ingredient and what is your magic. So how do you sustain that?
You know, Jesse, this pandemic has really caught us by a big surprise. But by just focusing on our true north, our key purpose, we did say that our primary focus is protecting and keeping our employees safe, and at the same time, likewise, also making them productive. But likewise, also ensuring that our customers are also being kept safe, protected whenever they have to interact with us, and likewise also given the right products and services that they need, especially during these trying times. So for us, HR should continue to keep employees engaged, productive, informed, and connected, I should say. And for us, we need to be very innovative in looking for quick solutions for us to be able to make sure that employees are kept engaged, connected, and informed, especially during these times that they're spending most of their time at home and do not necessarily have the face-to-face interaction with our people. And as such, we take pains in making sure that we actually do regular pulse checks with our people, giving them, equipping them with the right tools, and likewise also providing them with enough connectivity for them to be able to ensure that they are being kept productive in their workplace. I'll give you an example. So we realized that since they've been working at home for the last, say, 5 months already.
5 months, 5 months.
5 months already. So we realized that we needed to augment their allowance for connectivity. Whereas previously we
Wow.
5 gigabytes monthly data allowances, we increased it to double. Likewise, we realized that sometimes your laptop or your mobile phone may encounter some problems. So we created a mobile IT bar, which can now go visit you and fix your connectivity issues if they have any. Then lately, we likewise also came up with, I would say, very innovative ideas as to how we can help them set up their uh, office at home. We realized today that not a lot of people would be able to go on vacation. Kasi yung concept of vacation for a lot of Filipinos going out, but now that you can't do that. So we said, in as much as employees would not be able to go on vacation, maybe we can now encourage them to just encash their vacation and use that encashment to purchase office equipment. So we partnered with say furniture suppliers so that they can buy chairs, tables, and likewise also laptops and other connectivity items. Similarly, we likewise also put in a lot of technologies for us to be able to keep them informed and likewise also connected. You know, staying healthy has become very important for us, and that's why we created a bot. Every employee is asked to log in every morning how they are. So a bot asks them, "Good
Yeah.
morning, Ata. How are you today? Are you feeling well? Do you have any symptoms that you may want us to help you with?" And and mind you, we have 8,000 employees. More than 80% of them are actually doing that on a daily basis. It's not just about collecting data. It's also about ensuring that they know that we are looking after them and we're checking on them and making sure that we understand where we can help them with. Now, for our customers, we did the same. When we opened the stores last month,
Yes.
our retail stores, we wanted to make sure that we also had protective equipment for our people, making sure that there was likewise also acrylic say protectors so that
Yes. Yes.
we can separate and provide the safe distancing among the customers. And likewise also, we realized that some people will probably have difficulty in paying their bills. So in fact, we did extend payment repayment periods. And likewise also allowed them to amortize it over 3 or 6 months. Now,
Yes.
but most critically is our critical skeletal force. We have over close to about 2,000 of them keeping the lights on. And these are, as I said, are true heroes, mga bayani ng globe ito. Because they go out of the comforts of their homes,
Uh-oh.
going to the different cell sites, making sure that they're able to keep the lights on, or
Yeah.
even going to hospitals, clinics, and help set up additional broadband capabilities when they need it. But we provided for them protective equipment, training on how to keep them healthy. We provided
Mhm.
them also with vitamins, and of course, testing facilities for them. But
Mhm.
lastly, we did say that, hey, if ever you contract the the virus, we will guarantee that we will look after you, including any of your family members who might get infected as a
Oh, I
result of
like that. I like that. Yeah.
that. Is our commitment to them.
Hmm.
So
Wonderful.
those are just examples, Jesse. I hope that I was able to respond to your questions, specifically on what we're doing today. Protecting employees, protecting the customers, and making sure that we provide them with the right enablement so that they can continue living comfortably, working productively, and at the same time also having fun.
Yeah. So that means that life goes on even with this pandemic. It just
True.
the HR just will have to make sure that everybody is protected. We will go to some details when we come back. Let's have our first break. Then we will return after the announcements. Thank you. Thank you. Please don't leave. Welcome back to HR Hotline. Um, yes, you have to tune into the TNC. We have the big picture from Mondays to Fridays. Your lunch date with me on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, the HR Hotline. And we have the business with Dr. Mike and Bert on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 in the evening. The fourth project with Bob on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 7 p.m. And it's Sapang Beauty. This is a new one. It is what just a launch on Thursdays and Saturdays 5:30. Don't forget before my slot is actually the youth turn with my friend Carmine. And then we have the home buyer with Dante Salamat, a funny, hilarious show, The Puppet Stories by Wan Lu on Tuesdays and Fridays at 5 p.m. And then the TNC Marketplace actually late at night at 10 p.m. on Thursdays and Fridays. And YOLO at Monday and you only live, but you not this is YOLO, Mondays and Thursdays. Then every Monday we have a wonderful show, lunchtime, The Talk by my friend Dennis Calamba. Then after shift by Tricia and Chino. Then we have the money and more, and the town hall on Saturdays. And tonight there will be the uh, a show which is wonderful. I want to watch it tonight at 7 p.m. one day. Yes, there will be a world premiere tonight, August 8th at 7 p.m. and let's watch it. It's a new concept of a show, raw, unfiltered, and without script. Chloe, a 9-year-old Filipina British in China, shares how she feels about autism and how accepting one's disability can turn into a life changing positivity. The world premiere will be on August 8th, Saturday at 5:30. Yeah, ang dami na. Nauubos yung oras natin, Lloyd, ha? Tiningnan ko, 7 minutes kaya yun. Oo. Pero that is wonderful kasi it means that the new channel is actually the in thing to do. Kasi you can bring your gadgets anywhere while driving or even if you're in the garden, if you have good connectivity, then you can watch us. Ako nga, I'm trying na, sabi ko, is this my time slot okay? Yes. Kasi this is your lunch break, your lunch date. Okay, let's go back to Ato. Ato, let me ask you this. Kasi you are 3,000, 8,000. 8,000. Am I
8,000.
correct? Yeah. Mayroon ka pa bang, do you still have uh, L&D uh, programs run now? Or other interventions that you're doing to ensure that there is connectivity and learning? What do you do? Tell us. Anong ginawa ninyo?
Oh, yes. Jesse, we realized that working from home will also provide people some opportunities for them to have some free time. Because not everyone will probably be able to maximize their time on working. And as such, we realized that there will be a lot of opportunity for us to make sure that we keep them productive and making sure that when this pandemic is done, we should be able to come out of this stronger, better, and more skilled and more capable. And that's why we focus on training and development. So we realized that in fact previously a large portion of our trainings were all instructor led and face to face. We now have linked up with a provider for us to be able to give all of our employees access to Skillsoft online training programs. These are very good training programs. I'm not
Nice.
giving them a freebie in here, but we found their training programs to be very appropriate for both personal development and likewise also in business courses. And they have these training programs that are available in bite-sized say videos, and with likewise also with video readings that you can spend only about 10-15 minutes of your time, and then get back to work.
So these are already curated. These are already
Oh,
curated.
yes, it also has the capability for you to come up with your own, say, we call it your uh, career pathways,
So
in which,
self-directed. It's self-directed and curated.
yes, yes, and that's what we're doing today. We're providing them with that access and capability. But more than that, we said starting this year, part of every Globe employee's performance targets is to spend at least 24 hours of training for the entire year, at least. And this is what I can tell you. Wala pang dalawang buwan. A lot of the employees have already used up all of the 24 hours and continuing to learn.
I think that is what your group learned from it is to make it competency based because
True.
you have to link your learnings with performance, and I think that is the key, that is the magic there, that when it is, but you have to make them informed, because if your employees don't realize that there is a link between their performance and and their their careers, they will not really take all of this curated uh, bite size, you call it
That's
bite
true.
size.
That's true, Jesse. In fact, the people that went to your program have invested heavily on understanding what are the capabilities of building a competency-based training development program. And in fact, we now have a wide library of competencies for most of our core job families. And with this, likewise, also a proficiency tool that we created to ensure that we understand where are the gaps, and we even have what we call a heat map to understand which particular group has low in this particular competencies and the like, so that we can focus on which interventions we will need to be able to augment the capabilities.
So, can you share with us some of the interventions that you do so that we can have some idea? Say just why is it that sina Miss dito sa SM Bikutan, ako na mismo nagsasabi, they are so good. What are the interventions that you do so that a lot of ay teka muna ato, a lot of si Bebet is watching us. Hello daw si Carmine, si Serily is watching us. Mayroon si Donald is from Saudi, so is watching us. So can you share with us, what do you actually do? Bakit meron kayong isang, you can come up with an employee who has that in the system, mayroong customer service. Say let's zero in customer service. What are the interventions that you do?
Well, first, we need to realize that the employee's development is both a partnership between the employee himself and tracking what his career
Right.
are.
Perfect.
But most especially, likewise, also is the role of the immediate manager in ensuring that he or she guides the employee with what are the
Exactly.
right pathways for him or her to pursue and the enablement that is needed to make sure that we're developing their skills or competencies. You cannot underestimate the mentorship or the guidance given by the line manager. But of course, HR plays a major role in ensuring that these programs are being supported. They are measured and they are augmented with the right inputs coming from, say, external partners like Skillsoft, for example, or Udemy, or Sapia for our IT group, for us to be able to make sure that we keep abreast with technologies and best practices. Now, what are we doing? We're making sure that every employee is given the opportunity to pursue their own career opportunities or intentions. They have their own IDPs, so we provide them with the right coaching and mentoring and provide them with the right enablement.
Mhm. You know why I asked that, Ato? Kasi that is actually the foundation of connectivity. If your employees, they really feel that they are being taken care of, especially their careers, then they have a connection with Globe, with the organization. Kasi that is why I asked that. Eh. So aside from that, ano pang ingredient ng Globe wherein you have connections with your employees aside
Well,
from
so especially during this lockdown, what we found as very important was the ability to be able to communicate directly with our employees. We
right.
wanted to make sure that they are made well aware of the situation, uh, where the COVID pandemic was, how the business was doing, what's happening within the entire company, and what are our plans. We have a very active and very engaged senior leadership, including our CEO himself, Ernest Koo. He takes
Yes,
the time
yes.
to actually address the entire globe population almost every couple of weeks to tell them about where's the country, where's the pandemic now, what's happening within the company, and what are we doing to be able to help the employees and likewise also our customers in ensuring that we provide them with the right equipment, the right tools, and likewise also the right enablement to make sure that they can stay productive and
So
safe.
that is what you call agility. And when was this? What is March, April, or when
Oh,
was this? When would be
starting nung March 15, every 2 weeks, Ernest would address the entire organization via workplace for about an hour, telling them the state of the business, the state likewise also of our pandemic actions, and making sure that we provide them with the right venue for them to understand what are we doing, and at the same time also giving them the opportunity to share with us what are their concerns and likewise also areas for help. And let me
I
tell
think
you one other item that came out of that particular engagement. We realized that Zoom meetings like this became a fad. So everyone was setting up meetings and such that because they understand that and know that employees will always be at home anyway. So it came to a point that people were saying, pwede bang i-lessen naman natin yung mga meetings because it's now impinging on personal life. And it was true because we realized that you're at home anyway, so maybe we can have a meeting on this and that. And some of the meetings went beyond 6 o'clock, maybe even about 8 or 9 in the evening. And we realized that it's not just about the fatigue; it's actually more of the realization that as the employee is now at home, they now have a family to contend with. So if the family members now have to eat lunch, hindi naman pwedeng the employee will not be able to join them because he's still in a meeting. Of course, the family members will wait for them. So insights like this came from direct feedback coming from employees. And as such, what we did was I sent out a meeting etiquette guidelines. I said, can we keep this sacred? Lunchtime, these times, weekends. Just be mindful, and then make sure that we also provide some breaks. It doesn't have to be 1 hour. Every meeting doesn't have to be 1 hour. It can be 45 minutes, so at least the employees would have 15-minute break before the next meeting. Uh, so these are some of the items that we found out coming from engaging with the employees. So connectedness is likewise also about ensuring that there is two-way communication, making sure that we hear them, likewise also they hear from us. But the best part about it is acting on what they have asked us to do. And I think we have been very, very agile in doing that.
I like that. What is that? You issued a memo on etiquette. I like that. I like that. So coming from you, you really have to come up with some guidelines on how you're going to conduct meetings. Now you mentioned about this that you provide them subsidy for their connectivity. Of course, because of course Globe can afford it. What is your advice for those? Small and medium enterprises wherein, of course, I also asked this to some of our guests. Then even as Nikki Tuta mentioned it, that if you can afford it, you really must have to provide tools for your employees, because these are actually how you're going to engage them. So what can Globe provide wherein parang it's easier for them? So ang tanong ko is, how can HR leverage on this connectivity, either or on anything, cell phones, phones, or internet? Can you share with us? Give us ideas kung paano.
Maybe if I can give you a full suite of where we think the mobile business or connectivity can help first the entire country. It's not just about getting people connected, but it's likewise also looking for ways for us to be able to use these services to be able to help our population citizens. First, healthcare. We realize that especially during this pandemic times, it's difficult for you to be able to go to a hospital. A lot of people are afraid of going to a hospital because they might get infected. Or when I have symptoms, so I really have to go to a hospital and the like. So the connectivity that we provided does not just connect a person or a potential patient. We likewise also made sure that they're able to connect with a doctor that can provide with some initial diagnosis that they can do over the phone, or they can even do their own via video. And we have a product called Consulta MD, wherein in fact we partnered with DOH to help them in addressing the concerns of our citizens whenever they feel that they have.
How will they do that? Where will they register? So that for those who are listening, you know what is nice with this, Ato. This show, this episode will be shared. And the last episode, in 2 hours, there were already around 400 who were viewing it. So where can they register it so that HR will know? And this can be one of those services that HR can.
Or you can just download it on your mobile app. The name of the app is Consulta MD. It's a very small amount of money that you have to pay a subscription basis for the entire year, a few hundred pesos.
I see.
And
Okay.
then get connected with a doctor 24/7, and they will provide you with expert advice whenever you have any potential ailments.
So that HR can leverage on that. That you
Yes.
provide applications wherein they can use it for their employees.
Yeah.
What else?
Okay.
What else new?
Likewise, also with pandemic, we realized that today contact tracing is very important. When a person gets infected, we take a lot of effort to make sure that we understand who has gotten exposed as a
Yeah,
result
of
of.
course, of course.
Now, there's a technology now. You can download it in your app. It will not be available very soon. For us to be able to now automatically know who was near you during those times that you were infectious.
Oh, that's
Okay?
wonderful.
Using the technology of location setting, you can now know which cell phones were near you. And in fact, this is already being used in different countries. China, Singapore, Korea, I think are using this. So very soon we're now testing it among our own employees. We should be able to come out with this likewise also in part of our products and services. Third, I think one of the biggest opportunity areas today is in education. The
Yes.
schools are really opened, and I don't think they will open very soon. And if they do, it's probably going to still be virtual. In fact, a lot of countries are also doing this. So connectivity now becomes very important. The opportunity for education to continue, despite the fact that they will not be going to a physical classroom, can be done. In fact, I must tell you, my two-year-old granddaughter is already attending 1.5 hour classes every other day using Zoom. Those
Yeah.
opportunities where we can likewise also, and we are working with the different universities and academy in providing them connectivity. And likewise also the opportunity for them to be able to deliver their services despite this pandemic. And
Okay.
likewise, and lastly, of course, it's going to be the financial inclusion, or if
What is
I may,
that?
uh, if I may plug our product GCash. One
Chicas.
of the favorite pastimes of people today is online shopping, di ba? So,
Yes, yes.
and one of the best ways for you to be able to pay for those online shopping is go and get GCash. So it's a very convenient way for you to be able to transfer money, and likewise also to be able to pay bills or even save money. In fact, we have one of the highest interest rates today. If you saw our promos, interest rate can go as high as 3% versus banks today will probably give you less than 1%. So we are going beyond connectivity. We're providing them with what can that connectivity create value for you. And that
Yes.
is where we are putting a lot of effort into in making sure that the connectivity or the technology provides valuable input or insights, but most importantly, creating better experiences for our people. And that in fact is our purpose in the company. We see a Philippines where families' dreams come true, the businesses flourish, and of course, the nation is admired. And that's why we're looking for those opportunities as to how we can help our Filipino friends and how they can use technology connectivity to be able to increase their own say level of say engagement and productivity, but most importantly, likewise also happiness.
Okay, we'll go back. We'll go back, Ato. Thank you for that. I learned a lot, and then I have now I have thought of how I will conclude this episode. But I would like to mention Mr. Nick Ling is watching and said really, I Sir Nick, be prepared Sir Nick kasi nakalista ka sa akin. Ikaw ang sa sunod, ikaw rin ang nandito. But anyway, let's have the next what do you call this break. Announcements. So that after that Welcome back to HR Hotline. So this is the portion, the last portion on how job fair. But we are not going to, for the interest of time, we are not going to mention the vacancies now. Let me read this. There will be a world premiere of Usapang Beauty, Money and More, and it's on August 8th, August 12th, and August 17th, respectively. The world premiere will be on August 17th of Yulo. Okay, so let's go back to Sir Ato Yao. Okay, medyo ma-intriga. Can you tell us, kasi this is the portion of the HR hotline. 2 weeks ago, not only Globe, but on the other telcos, there was a problem with the Wi-Fi connection. Why was that? Can you
Uh,
tell us? I know you are with HR, not on the operations, but can you just tell us? Because even PMAP had that problem.
yes, I think that what you're referring to was what happened. I think during a weekend or Monday, across Makati, there was a glitch in the back end, which we found that was caused by some errors in one of the systems that was being upgraded.
I
But we heard that the broadband connectivities were intermittent for a large majority of the people, but we were luckily we were able to find the root cause of the problem and repair that as quickly as possible.
I would like to thank you because at the time that it was actually Richard who was complaining. Richard, I mentioned your name. But mine was not because he was asking me, Sir Jesse, is your connection, that was after you had my Wi-Fi connection done. So because no, it's nice. I become okay here. So there is really something, but it's not only you. Ang, pero what is wonderful there? Kasi, again, your customer service was able to answer them comfortably. Diba? Kaya sabi ko, sino ang nag-tour? Anong ginagamit nyo sa customer? I'm curious with that. Anong ginagamit mo sa customer service?
What do you mean? Na ginagamit na?
Anong concept mo? Anong ginagamit mong program?
Okay. Well, good. We want to know our customers intimately, and I use the word
Yun na nga.
very I would say specific. We don't want to see our customers simply just as customers of transactions. In fact, we want to understand their needs and their wants and their aspirations better, so that then we can create these wonderful experiences that I was telling you, and create the right products and services or content that we can provide for them, so that then we will be able to anticipate their needs. That is what we're all about. It's about creating that strong bond with our customers to understand what they need or what they might need in the future, not necessarily now, so that then we can enhance their life and their experiences by providing them with these products and services. And as such, even in the stores, and you've seen that in our retail stores, they try to build that strong personal relationship. Like in
Yeah.
other stores, when you come in, they talk and they call you by your first name, because that's exactly what we want to be able to do. This is not about a transaction that needs to be paid. It's about a relationship that needs to be nurtured.
Yeah. So
That
that
is,
really is
that is why
connectivity.
we have customers like you who've been with us for the last 3 decades. And we
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
I truly appreciate that.
Okay. Okay. So, ang bilis ng oras. We are going to invite you on the third season kasi we just talk about connectivity. Next time, I would like to squeeze from you as the 2015 People Manager of the Year, some concepts na malayo. I will ask you what is it that you would like to share so that our HR community will get it from you, Ato. Thank you very much. But can you give us your message, parting message, before we say thank you to them?
Okay. Well, first, Jesse, thank you for giving me this opportunity to share our thoughts and our programs in your wonderful program. But I would like to address the entire HR community in here to say that these are very difficult and trying times. A lot of uncertainties are happening. But this is likewise also the glorious days where HR can truly make a difference by helping lead the appropriate actions and programs that will help ensure the safety of our people and making sure that they likewise also contribute to the business and to our customers. And with that, again, thank you very much, Jesse. I truly appreciate you giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat. So there goes, ladies and gentlemen. We heard it from the VP of HR in Globe Telecom Inc. We have to leverage, we have to appreciate and use. Yung parang bang, we have this cell phone, are we actually using it? And he gave us four, di ba? We can use it for our health. Just download the apps. Then we can use it for your for other opportunity. So ang sabihin ko, that's why yung connectivity mo, pwedeng connectivity is actually a relationship that when you offer something to your employees, then the employees actually feel that they're taken care of, and that is engagement. And from that, that is your connectivity. One. But the other one is you make sure that they're really connected technically. So, yun, binigyan ka nga ng mga ideas. So, ang tanong, how do you fare? Are you leveraging your appliances, your phones, your internet in how you're going to make sure that people are connected and productive? That is the question that we have. So, ladies and gentlemen, it goes beyond communication. It actually starts with relationship, and the relationship for connectivity starts from the management itself. We heard it, the information, the meetings that they do, the guidelines of etiquette that they do, that uh, uh, they have to look into the particular instance we're in. There can be too much meetings and engagement. So it's actually taking care, and it goes back. The feedback is actually connectivity. When you communicate well, and then the feeling is that you take care of them, the feedback is the connectivity. So they are attuned. And a lot of things that we learned from Mr. Ato Yao. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Just Babalos means the Lord will repay you. This is Jesse Francis Rebustillo. Just Marvelous po.